Hey everyone, and welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm your host, Alyssa Ashe, and so thankful that you guys are all here with me. It's been a while since I have been on the air doing these nightly news recaps. So glad to be back with you guys. On behalf of all of RSBN, we're thankful for each and every one of you and your continued support. And for those of you that might not have seen a nightly news recap before, I kind of just want to give you guys a preview of what you're going to expect. I am going to go through a lot of different stories. I'm going to cover world news, local news, national news. It's been really fun over the past few days. I did some polls on Twitter to see what news you guys would really like to see what news matters the most to you. And I did one poll where I asked if you wanted to hear world news, national news, or if you wanted to hear about the new House and the Senate. And I got some mixed results, but a lot of great responses from you guys as well about what stories matter to you. So thank you to everyone over the past couple days that has just interacted with me on Twitter as I have been preparing for this. It's been fantastic. I mean, it's really exciting. We've been literally traveling America for the past 6 months nonstop. Almost every single rally President Trump was at, Right Side Broadcasting Network was there too. We brought you guys the entire speech, and we brought you, just lots of interviews with people outside. And looking at everyone right now in the chat room, something I always like to do during the beginning of these nightly news recaps is to greet everyone. So hey to everyone in our chat room. Thank you so much for joining us. It is an honor to have you guys here. Thank you to our moderators who keep the chat room clean and fun and family friendly. Also, hey to one of our other news reporters, Liz Willis. I hope you are doing well. Miss you and really looking forward to having you back soon. But I hope you are having a great time where you are right now. And to everyone watching, thank you so much to the regulars, British Patriot, Swoosh for Trump, and just everyone that has been so encouraging and so helpful as I've really prepared to come back on the air. Even, just now getting ready, it's crazy because I'm anchoring for you guys while I'm producing, while I'm researching, which, I did some of that earlier in the day. So I've been getting ready for this all day. And so I'm really thankful to be back with you guys. It looks like we have 412 watching right now on YouTube, which is fantastic. So guys, please share the stream. I want you guys to know just because President Trump is not rallying all over the country does not mean we're stopping. There's still a really bright future for Right Side Broadcasting Network. I talked about it last night. I actually did an Instagram live on my Instagram account, and it was really fun. And I kind of just gave a preview of what's to come without saying too much because I want you guys to enjoy some surprises as well. But I also wanted to shout out some donations that we've already received. $2 from Swoosh for Trump. Thank you so much with a very encouraging comment there. Really appreciate that. Also $7.99 in Australian dollars from Matthew Timonen, who says, God bless you, Alyssa and RSBN. When's the next rally? Much love from Australia. Well, Matthew, we don't know yet when the next rally is, but you know that we will be there. President Trump usually he might do some thank you rallies. We're not expecting that now because, as you guys know, unfortunately, we did lose the House. Republicans lost the House, and so I don't think he will be doing, thank you rallies about that. But President Trump does like to do Christmas rallies, and then hopefully a few in the spring, and things will just kind of kick back into high gear as he begins to campaign for himself, of course, for his 2020 campaign. And so we're really excited for that. There's a lot of exciting things to come. Of course, we will be going to CPAC next year and bringing you live reports from CPAC. We're really excited for that. And we're talking about a couple other conservative conferences. And so we're really excited to bring you live reports from different events. But until then, we will be broadcasting from here, where we are based out of in Auburn, Alabama. So really excited to just connect with you guys over the next few months. It's going to be a great time, and really thankful for everyone who has, supported Right Side Broadcasting Network, who has donated. You guys are absolutely fantastic, and you know that we cannot do this without you. And for those of you, I know there were a couple first timers in the chat room that were saying just, that were saying they were first timers. So we are actually based on donations. We are viewer supported. So when I'm thanking people for donations or shouting out how you can help us, that's why. Also, thank you. We just received $4.99 from Steve Nisley, State to State Interior Painter. Hope you're doing well, Steve. Guys, if you don't know Steve, he's a fantastic patriot. I actually got to meet him at a couple of different rallies, and he's a loyal viewer as well. So welcome, Steve, and thank you for joining. And Liz, it is so good to have you in the chat room, just interacting with everyone. I miss you, and I hope that you are doing well, and hopefully we'll get to be back on the air together soon. So anyways, I'm going to kind of dive into what's going on. I have some hot topics that I will be discussing with you guys tonight, but also during this broadcast, I want to hear your interaction. And I haven't been checking the Facebook chat yet, so I'm going to be checking that as well. If you're still watching, Shelly Badgett, my aunt from Texas, I hope you are doing well. Miss you so much and hope to see you very soon. So I'm going to dive right into the stories of the night. But before I do that, I wanted to let you guys know that this is not your typical news broadcast because this is interactive. And as you guys know, I'm interacting with you as you're chatting with me on the YouTube chat and on Facebook and also on Twitter. So for those of you that haven't yet, I would love it if you follow me and reach out to me on Twitter at Alyssa Ashe, RSBN. I think I put it in the comment down below, and so you will be able to see it. And of course, if you have story ideas that you want me to talk about, maybe an article, something I haven't mentioned yet in the broadcast, would love to have you guys and hear from you. It would be really great. I love it when you guys contribute to the broadcast as well, because it shows that, I'm talking about stories that really matter to you. So we're going to go through some of the big topics of the night. I am pulling that up right now. We're going to talk about national news. We're going to talk about world news. We're going to talk about the new House in the Senate and kind of what that's going to look like. And I'm not going to make too many predictions, but we already know there's going to be a lot of gridlock, and it is going to be a hard road ahead for the Republican Party. Also, we are going to talk about some news in the media that I know you guys have seen a lot, and I also want to share some of your comments that you guys were so kind to share with me. Really appreciate each and every single one of you. You guys are absolutely fantastic, and just kind of what you guys would like to see with this show, Nightly News Recap, the Nightly News Recap show with Alyssa Ashe, and then, we might even be having some new shows in the future, so new programming to come, and so I am definitely really excited for that. I am also very active on social media, and I found that that's a great way to connect with people, and so I hope that you guys will follow me on wherever you are most comfortable on social media. And I'm trying to share this stream right now on my Facebook page. I think I already did, yeah, but I want to share the live as well, so bear with me real quick. Also, if you guys have questions about anything news related, anything political, would love to answer those as well. You can just go ahead and ask on the YouTube chat right here. If you're watching a different way on Facebook, welcome. I will be reading those comments as well, but for some reason, it's not allowing me to see all of the Facebook comments right now, but the YouTube comments are coming in fine. And also, of course, my Twitter direct messages, you can reach me there. You can also just tag me on Twitter at Alyssa Ashe RSBN, and I will see that as well. So hope you guys are all doing well. It's going to be a really fun night. I mean, it's been a long time since I've done this. And so just, for the past few days, I've been just collecting ideas. And let's see, I want to answer some questions over on the chat room. All right. Let's see who asked. Jenny D, whatever happened to Steve Lookner? Steve Lookner, he is a fantastic broadcaster. He actually has his own channel now, Agenda Free TV, also on YouTube. So if you would like to check him out, that is where you can find him. And I do want to, answer some more questions that I might see. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk about this more later. But Amir says that the House is terrible. There's going to be a lot of gridlock. Definitely agree with you there. And some of you guys are commenting about the background. You want to see that beautiful cityscape background. we might get to that, but we're gonna have to do some tweaking. We're playing with some different sets right now because if you haven't noticed, my hair is very dark, and every cityscape background I tried tonight, I blend in with, and don't want to give you a floating head. So that's why we've got the bright red today, but it's very patriotic. I think it's really fun, and I like it. I hope you guys do too. But anyways, I am going to continually throughout the night, I know I've been saying this a lot, but it is so important to me because news is just so digital now and so interactive on social media. And a lot of people, if you don't know it, actually get their news from Twitter, which is really interesting, which can be good and bad, because sometimes they're seeing these verified sources and sometimes they're seeing a man down the street without a journalism degree. But it doesn't matter because honestly now everyone is a journalist in a way. Just because everyone shares information through their, social media accounts, that doesn't mean that everyone is a journalist that has had training or a degree, but they might have it through experience or some other way. Anyways, want to get into the stories of the night, and I'm kind of just deciding right now what to start with because there has just been so much going on, but before I get into it, I want to read a couple more comments. British Patriot says you need a Lone Star state flag behind you. I do agree with you there, British Patriot. I love Texas, and I actually I've hung up a couple really fun patriotic signs in my studio, and so one over there says you can take me out of Texas, but you can't take Texas out of me, because I did spend some time there. I grew up there a little bit, moved around a lot, you guys know that, but we got to go and cover the Houston, Texas rally, and that was such a blast. Also, Follow the Sun says RSBN, I just donated. Thank you so much for that, Follow the Sun. Really appreciate that. If it didn't come up on YouTube, it means that this Patriot donated on our website, rsbnetwork.com/donate through PayPal or Patreon. And so thank you very much for your support there. Really appreciate that. All right, Rick Bulow says, how did you like Fort Myers? So we had a rally in Fort Myers. Rick, it was absolutely beautiful. Really loved it. Sorry that we were not able to meet up with you and see you there, but it was a beautiful rally. I felt like for a minute, it was the middle of fall, but going back into summer, just because it was warm and there were palm trees everywhere, and it was so beautiful. And then I think right after that, we went to a rally in Mosinee, Wisconsin. So right back into winter. So I had to change from, a tank top and a t-shirt to just all of my winter coats and scarves, things that I picked up on the rally trail because Liz Willis and I and cameraman and, some other members of the RSBN team were on the road for weeks. And so we were living out of our suitcases, bringing you guys these rallies, and it was a lot of fun. And so also everyone on Facebook wanted to welcome you. If I haven't already, thank you guys for being here. And again, I'm going to maybe refresh it, but I'm sorry that it is, it's not showing me your comments on Facebook. I do apologize for that. I'm going to look into that. It's really rare for all forms of social media to cooperate at the same time, right? Each time something is a little not right. And I'm sorry that we're not on Periscope right now either, or Twitter. I attempted that, but there were some issues there. So I'm going to work on that. But anyways, I am going to, oh, thank you. Follow the Sun says $25 sent now. Really appreciate that. Also, shout out to Adeline Marie Robinson. She says, did you guys notice the numbers for the last rally of those watching RSBN? Mine showed 88K. Yes, we did have some huge numbers at that Cape Girardeau rally that Liz Willis and cameraman James Willis covered. And so really thankful for both of them. They did a fantastic job. All right, so I could talk to you guys all night long, and I'm going to for at least an hour or two. But I want to tell you some news as well. But I will, of course, be interacting with you while I bring you the news because that is what I love to do. It's a blast, and I'm really thankful that I am able to do it. So we're going to kind of just go down. We're going to start with world news, move on to national, move into local a little bit, and then community. I'll tell you guys a little bit about Auburn if you want, just, kind of what I've experienced over the past couple days, and all good things. So, starting out with world news, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump just returned from France. And so there were a lot of beautiful pictures of their visit to France. I want to show that to some of you guys. Well, all of you. I want to show some of them to all of you guys. They were posted by the White House just today. And then, of course, in his typical fashion, President Trump did tweet out some of his thoughts about his trip to France. And so we will be going through those as well. All right, so I have this tweet for you. I'm going to swap screens real quick so that I'm able to show you. Okay, so you can see this was posted by the White House, and it says, FLOTUS joined President Trump in France this weekend to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. See photos from her tour of the Alyssa, that's a French pronunciation. I should have looked up already, but I didn't. Lunch at Versailles and more. So I'm going to show you guys some of these beautiful pictures here. You can see First Lady Melania Trump just looks absolutely stunning. She is always in style. I think it's really cool. She's gotten a lot of her, fashion advice from Jackie Kennedy, just from what I've seen, and I really admire Jackie Kennedy. I have 6 books about her. I've listened to the podcast, watched the movie. I want to be a scholar about her. I think she was a wonderful First Lady, and Melania is, of course, as well. And so you can see she just looks absolutely stunning with her updo, stiletto heels, pencil skirt, and blazer. So there's a little bit of a political fashion news for you guys today. And we're going to go through some more of the pictures. You can see right there President Trump and Melania entering the building. Beautiful lighting there. I love that. And here you can see President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump with, different officials as well. So beautiful picture there. Everyone looks, like they're there for a reason. They look sophisticated, focused, and I hope that it was a really productive visit. And I know, of course, there have been tons of stories written about it already in the mainstream media, but honestly, if they're not there, do they really know, what happened? And many of the mainstream media outlets were able to travel to France. It's just unfortunate that they have such a biased and negative view of our president. I think it would be a lot better if they respected him instead. But we'll get into more of that later with another story I know that you guys have heard a lot in the news lately. Also, we just received a $20 donation from Chris Nicely. Thank you so much, Chris. And he says, put this towards a satellite truck. That's a good start. Thank you, Chris. Really appreciate that. So on this picture, these pictures you can see, I'm going to read the quote here. It says, here on the revered grounds of the Surastis American Cemetery lie more than 1,500 U.S. service members who made the ultimate sacrifice. So I'm going to show you guys these pictures as well. Also, fun comment from Jenny D over on YouTube. She said, did everyone see President Trump glaring at the King of Morocco falling asleep? Yes, that was hilarious, and I shared a video of it on Twitter. And so I'm going to play that for you guys in a minute for those of you that didn't see it, because it was quite a moment. But here is more of a, of course, serious moment. Beautiful pictures. I think it would be so much fun to be a photographer for the campaign that follows President Trump everywhere. Just be absolutely wonderful. All right, so while it's at the front of my mind, and since you just mentioned it, Jenny, I want to show everyone that video. I shared it. Okay, here it is. I don't know if we're going to get any audio. Let me try. All right, stay tuned. So great clip there of President Trump giving the evil side eye to the snoozing president of Morocco. I thought that was really funny, and this was tweeted out by Benny Johnson. He says, President Trump does not tolerate low energy leadership. Please observe how he addresses the snoozing president of Morocco. Greatest side eye death stare in American presidential history. Just kind of a lighter piece that I wanted to share with you guys, and we will be moving on to the other news as well in just a second, pulling that up right now. And I think some messages are coming up on Twitter as well, so thank you everyone that's reaching out to me, and Facebook. It's pretty new. I just made this public Facebook page for you guys to interact with me on, Alyssa Ashe RSBN. So would love to hear from you guys over there as well. So I will be checking that too. Looks like I just got a message from Kevin on Facebook. Let's see what he says. And we also just received a $1 donation from a viewer on YouTube. Thank you for that, with your creative name and picture that I'm going to let everyone on YouTube enjoy for themselves. So over on Facebook, let me switch over real quick. Over on Facebook, Kevin says, Alyssa, it was very discouraging to see the young vote go overwhelmingly to the Democrats this midterm. What can be done to change this? I can't see conservatives winning future elections with this trend. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for your comment. I really appreciate that. And I hope that you're watching right now. And I assume that you are because you just messaged me. But this is something that I was actually talking, I don't know if it was you or another viewer, about last night. And I talked about it during my Instagram live as well, that the young vote, meaning some millennials and then Generation Z, which I'm really passionate about Generation Z because that is my generation, kind of at the end of millennials, or beginning, whatever you want to call it. We're like early 20s, and then those in high school are considered part of Generation Z as well. So when I finished up my senior year at North Greenville University, I wrote my proposal on Generation Z and political engagement, and just why, some Gen Zers are very involved and why some are not. And so obviously the Gen Zers that are very involved went out and voted on November 6th, and many of them did vote blue. And a lot in my generation did not vote. And I think it's just really messed up right now because they're voting, Gen Zers, for social issues. They're voting because of what's popular in our culture, because right now we are seeing the politicization of literally everything. This is something that I know you guys heard one of our other fantastic reporters, Max Kleiber, talk about during election night, just that, everything is being politicized now. So anyways, conservatives, young conservatives, there is a huge movement for that too. And I know many of them did get out and vote. And so this was the highest midterm election turnout since 1966. Also huge numbers in early voting, in absentee voting. And so, Kevin, I think that honestly, it's going to be okay. Conservatives can win future elections if there are enough passionate young conservatives that will fight for our country. And you know that everywhere I go, I'm talking about this. And I try to talk to, some of my friends about politics, and some of them are interested and some of them are not. And I'm not going to, try to force anything down anyone's throat. But I just really want people to know the importance of, caring about our country and what's going to happen. And I know that all of you are wonderful patriots. And this is a good comment. Speaking of patriots, from the British Patriot, he says Gen Z is the most conservative generation since ages. I like that, because although we are seeing a lot of young Democrats and a lot of young socialists now, there are also a lot of young Republicans and a lot of young conservatives that really care about our country. Also, thank you, Matthew Timonen, for your $4.49 donation. Really appreciate that, and all of your comments. Thank you so much for that. You are really fantastic, and I appreciate you supporting Right Side Broadcasting Network. And thank you to everyone watching right now in the chat room. I want to thank everyone for your kind comments. I really appreciate them. And also on Facebook, let's see. Oh, Jessica Messer joined on Facebook. Hey, Jessica, I hope you are doing well. I hope it's okay that I just broadcasted your name to the world. She is a wonderful friend. And so we're going to kind of move away from this conversation, and I'm going to continue telling you guys the main news points of the day, the main news stories of the day. But thank you, Kevin, for your question over on Facebook. I really hope that that did help to answer it in some way. And all right, so we're going to move on. So we talked about President and Melania Trump's trip to France, but I didn't show you guys those tweets yet. And I know you always love the President Trump tweet segment. So I'm going to pull those up real quick. And we are going to talk about those tweets centered on France. So 12 hours ago, I know you can see it right here, President Trump said, "Make France great again." And that was a very popular tweet. It got 118,000 likes, and it was retweeted 34,000 times. And he did get a lot of backlash in France, and so it looks like he was responding to some of this. He got a lot of backlash from, of course, as always, the mainstream media. And so 10 hours ago, he tweeted out, "By the way, when the helicopter couldn't fly to the first cemetery in France because of almost zero visibility, I suggested driving. Secret Service said no. Too far from the airport in Big Paris shutdown. Speech next day at American Cemetery in pouring rain. Little reported. Fake news." I'm sorry, guys. I wish that Right Side Broadcasting Network was there in France. We would have brought you the real story and the entire story, but we're not that big yet, so stay tuned. Also, thank you so much. Proud Patriot 28 just donated $10 and said, "Going to miss the MAGA rallies. Hope you will be out again in 2020. Thank you, Proud Patriot, for your support. Really appreciate that. And so we're going to see if there are any more tweets from President Trump. Doesn't look like there are any more about France that he tweeted out. After that, there is a message where he is mourning the lives lost and praying for the victims of the California wildfires. He says, "I want to thank the firefighters and first responders for their incredible courage in the face of grave danger." And this is just a quick 30-second clip. So I don't know if you guys have already seen it yet, but I am going to play it for you guys. So love to see his emotional tone there. You can really tell that he cares about the American people, and he says, you know, God bless everyone, and just that it is a tough situation. And let's see, some of you are commenting that there was not sound there. I apologize for that. Let me try to play it for you one more time. And it's only 30 seconds, so.
Going any further, I want to say a brief word about the devastating wildfires in California, the likes of which we've never seen before. We mourn the lives of those lost, and we pray for the victims. And there are more victims than anybody would ever even think possible. I want to thank the firefighters and FEMA and first responders for their incredible courage in the face of very grave danger. Yesterday, I signed a disaster declaration for the state of California. We will do everything in our power to support and protect our fellow citizens in harm's way. And we say, I think as a group, I can tell you as a group, God bless everybody. That's a very tough situation.
Really sorry there was no sound the first time around. Glad you could hear it that time. But what I was saying, it was really good that just the emotional side of him came out. He said, God bless everyone. It was, a very tough situation. And I want to bring you guys more information. I know you've seen it a lot just in the news, but please keep California in your thoughts and prayers. It is very heartbreaking, just everything that has happened there in the past few days. And it just came out yesterday on CBS News that nearly 9,000 firefighters were battling these deadly California wildfires. And so that's something that, we don't really have to deal with on the East Coast. And we can't even grasp, I feel like, just because we're so far away from it. And so I just ask that you will keep them in your thoughts. And let's see, I'm looking into more information of it right now. The latest update is that 42 Americans are dead in the Camp Fire, and the toll is expected to rise. Going to go through some information for you guys about it out of Paradise, California. This is from the New York Times. I'm not going to go through it word for word, but kind of just bring you a summary. So search teams were scouring the devastated town of Paradise today with the expectation of finding more bodies in the aftermath of what's been called the deadliest wildfire in California history. Now, this is of course, painstaking process. 42 people have been killed, 200 are still missing, and much is reduced to just ashes. And so some of the latest developments, the Camp Fire, as the blaze that ripped through Paradise is known, is only about 30% contained right now, and it has burned 125,000 acres. It continues to rage in the hills and ravines east of the city of Chico. It is the most destructive wildfire in California history, with more than 7,600 structures destroyed, most of them homes. And 2 people have passed away in the Woolsey fire, which is burning west of Los Angeles and has swept through parts of Malibu. And the fire is 35% contained and has charred more than 96,000 acres. But firefighters believed they were getting the upper hand. Also, the Hill fire in Ventura County has been kept to about 4,500 acres and is 90% contained. So multiple fires that the brave firefighters are dealing with. Now, with winds gusting up to 86 miles per hour in San Diego on Tuesday and a red flag fire warning in effect, a utility company turned off electric power in some areas, and at least 5 school districts canceled classes. Around 25,000 customers in the county were without power, either from precautionary shutdowns or from losses caused by heavy winds. Also, military veterans who have seen combat say the fire zones in California remind them of war zones, both in the way they look and in the way it develops in harm's way. And I want to try to bring you guys more information, maybe some graphics in a second. But so Paradise had a population of 27,000 people before the fire, including many retired individuals, but also families with children seeking just, a break from the costs that have made many California cities unaffordable. So under mandatory evacuation since the fire, Paradise is now emptied of its residents. The streets are quiet, flecked by the ash that falls like snowflakes. And the sparse traffic on Tuesday included emergency vehicles and trucks from the electric utility, but there were signs of the grim search underway. Black hearses traveling to and from the main hospital, their hazard lights flashing through the smoke haze. And so this is really heartbreaking. Now, Jim Matthews, who is a forecaster with the National Weather Service in Sacramento, said winds are decreasing, but conditions are still dry. This is being called the deadliest wildfire in California history. The fire that ravaged the wooded town of Paradise in Northern California last week has been called the deadliest wildfire in the state's modern history on Monday, when officials said they had discovered the remains of 13 more people, which brought the death toll up to 42. And the Butte County Sheriff Corey L. Hania said in a news conference Monday night, "My sincere hope is that I don't have to come here each night and report a higher and higher number." And the authorities on Monday released the names of 3 people who were killed: Ernest Foss, who's 65, from Paradise; Jesus Fernandez, who's 48, from Concal; and Carl Wiley, 77, from Magalia. And the death toll in the Camp Fire has surpassed the Griffith Park fire of 1933, which killed 29 people and for decades had the infamous distinction of being California's deadliest wildfire. So that is definitely heartbreaking. For all of you that do pray, I ask that you will keep everyone in California in your thoughts and prayers right now, especially those who have lost loved ones. Thank you guys so much. And I will be bringing you guys some more stories throughout the night. Thank you to everyone watching right now on YouTube and on Facebook. Really appreciate you guys. And I also want to tweet this out as well, because I do not think it is on Twitter yet. Kind of just getting back into the swing of things. We've been on the campaign trail for the past 5-6 months, and as soon as I started working for Right Side Broadcasting Network, I started traveling, and so it has been really good, but it has been a crazy whirlwind. But I am so thankful. I could not ask for anything better as my first job out of college. So I'm going to be bringing you guys more news stories throughout the night, and thank you to all that have sent me, different stories and different topics that you want me to talk about tonight as well. Really appreciate that. So I'm going to take a second and check all of my social medias. And also, wow, thank you so much, Tom O'Neill. Really appreciate that. One of our reporters from the campaign trail. He said, "Good to see you, Alyssa, back on your nightly news recap during the corrupt, never-ending, bottomless ballots recount. Go Florida Senator-elect Rick Scott and Arizona Senator-elect Martha McSally." Thank you so much, Tom. Really appreciate that. And I miss you. I miss broadcasting with you. And I hope you are doing well back in Ohio. And I hope that you will come and visit us one day soon. But yeah, I am going to get into that more a little bit, but going to transition right now and do a quick donations hit, because Swoosh for Trump just commented, Tom O'Neill, that donation was not made the Tom O'Neill way. So for those of you that aren't familiar with that, the Tom O'Neill way to donate is by sending a check to Right Side Broadcasting Network, which is a great way to help us stay on the air. And of course, we do get to keep 100% of that donation. So for those of you that may be new here today, I'm just going to take a second to show you guys how you can donate. You go to our website, rsbnetwork.com, and you can type /donate, or you can't see it in this view, but right above the logo here, there is a donate tab, and so you can click that. And okay, I was not aware of this. Our CEO, Joe Seals, updated it. So we've got a great picture of President Trump. And let's see. The ways to donate. Wow. Guys, this is so fun. It's been updated and I didn't even know until right now. Okay, so you're seeing an unfiltered real moment. Okay, so here's our address. Also, great job, Joe. Love the new setup. Love the new graphics. This is the Tom O'Neill way to donate. You write out a check and send it to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344 in Auburn, Alabama, 36830. And so that is how you can donate. And also you can donate on PayPal, which is really nice because we do get to keep 90% of that. And you can also donate through Patreon. And for those of you that may be new, I want to show you guys what Patreon's about. And there's a picture that says thanks for your support of the crew. Really wonderful. Can't remember which rally it was at, but in case you aren't familiar with everyone, here's some more of our rally reporters. Liz Willis, she's really fantastic. She's been with Right Side Broadcasting Network for a couple years. You guys saw her commenting in the chat earlier tonight. And Max Kleiber, he's a really great reporter and also a fantastic political analyst. I know you guys saw he was with us on election night and he really did a great job bringing in those numbers. And also Tom O'Neill, he is also really fantastic. Many of you call him the walking political encyclopedia, and he has been a campaign reporter for us as well over the last 6 months. So really thankful for all of them, and don't know when I'm going to see all of them next. I'll see Max soon because he lives here. But as for the others, if you're watching, I love you guys and hope to see you very soon. Okay, so I want to show you guys Patreon. Special thank you to all our patrons. Patreon is a really fantastic way to donate because we get to keep it all and use it for travel and for streams like this one. And just want to show you guys real quick. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but the different ways. And thank you, Gary Olafson. Really appreciate that. He says, I'll donate, Alyssa, but in December. It sounds like you are giving for Christmas. So thank you. We really appreciate that. So some different ways real quick. You can donate on Patreon. It can be as little or as much as you want it to be. So with the entry level, you're giving $1 per month all the way up to the all access level. We have a couple donors that give $500 or more per month. And so really, really thankful for all of them. But guys, when you watch this, I don't want you to ever feel like I am just begging you for money, because that is not what I'm doing. But I'm thanking you guys for all of your support because we are donor funded. And if you would like to donate, that is completely your choice. If you can't completely understand that, please just share this on social media, because you guys know that conservative voices are getting, put down lower in the search results on YouTube. And so we're thinking about maybe having some, backup channels just in case we have issues with our channel, because you guys know we have been hacked many times for no apparent reason. Even the other night, we were, finally resting from the midterms rally, and many of you were hanging out with us in the chat room. And then there was just some weird music and different languages that were coming over our live chat feed where we were showing old rallies, and that was not okay. So anyways, all that to say, conservative voices are being put down in the search results. You guys know that, but we are not going to stop fighting. So don't worry about that. And I'm going to switch back over. We'll be sharing with you guys some different stories throughout the night. A lot of comments coming in. Thank you guys so much for all of your feedback right now over in the YouTube chat. And to everyone watching on Facebook, thank you for joining. Really, really appreciate that. And let's see. I'm going to check. I got a couple new messages on my new Facebook page, and I'm going to answer those shortly, either over Facebook or during the broadcast. But I do have a lot of other really interesting stories for you guys tonight that we are going to go through. But before that, I'm going to take a quick break. don't go anywhere. But also, huge thank you to Matthew Timonen for the $14.99 donation in Australian dollars. Really appreciate that. He says, real news is worth the donation. Love you, Alyssa and company. Thank you so much, Matthew. Really, really appreciate that. So I am going to take a second and just get things ready for the second half of the show. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I'll be right back. Hey everyone, welcome to a part 2 of this nightly news recap with Alyssa Ashe. As you guys know, today is Tuesday, November 13th, and this is the first nightly news recap I have done in all of November because we've been on the campaign trail for the last few months, and so it's really great to be back with you guys right now. And hello to everyone in the YouTube chat room. Some of you may just be joining us, but it is great to have all of you guys here with us. Want to shout out and thank some of our fantastic moderators. Candy Smith, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Sanity Personified. And let's see, I know Real Frank in Florida was in the chat room, and Barbara Braley. You guys are very wonderful. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, and some of those great members as well that are here. The Convergence, William M, History B, and Gregory Ash, my dad. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting. Really appreciate you guys and just all of your help and support. You guys are really, really fantastic. And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys some more stories, but I had to take a second just to collect everything from social media because, as you guys know, news has changed, and 2018 is a crazy time where people are not getting their news from the local stations, but they're getting their news from YouTube right here, or Twitter, or Facebook, or Instagram, or Snapchat, or whatever other social media outlet you like to use. And Danielle, thank you for reaching out to me on Facebook. This question you asked me is a really great question. It's about different colleges, and so I'm going to get back to you separately after this broadcast, but I'm going to take a second also, just pull up Twitter and make sure you guys don't have any more questions, comments, concerns. British Patriot, thank you again for sending these story tips. Really appreciate that. This is a great one. The British Patriot just sent me a story from Reuters, and it says President Trump picks conservative to replace Kavanaugh on appeals court. Thank you, British Patriot, for this story. Really appreciate it. So I'm going to go through this with you guys in just a second. I'm going to pull it over to my other monitor here. Remember, if there are any stories at all that you guys want me to talk about during these nightly news recaps, send them to me on Twitter at Alyssa Ashe RSBN. It's right here in the YouTube comment below. Would really love that. Would really love to interact with you guys that way. So, all right, we're gonna read this. We're gonna go through this story right now. Thank you, British Patriot, for sending it to me. Really appreciate you. So this is from Reuters. President Trump said today that he will nominate conservative lawyer Naomi Rao, known for her strong anti-regulatory views, to replace newly appointed U.S. Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh on an influential federal appeals court. So Rao, hopefully I'm saying her name right, currently serves as President Trump's top official on regulatory matters. President Trump, whose administration has reversed a succession of regulations on the environment and other issues since he took office last year, made the announcement during a White House ceremony in honor of the Hindu festival Diwali. And Rao's parents are Indian, and President Trump has said she is going to be fantastic, a great person. Now, Rao also said, thank you very much, Mr. President, for the confidence you've shown in me. I greatly appreciate it. So, it looks like they've already got a great relationship there. And now, if confirmed by the Senate, which is controlled by President Trump's fellow Republicans, she would replace Kavanaugh on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, which hears most major cases over the lawfulness of federal regulations. Now, before joining the administration, she was a law professor at George Mason University in Virginia, and she also served as a clerk for conservative Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. So she definitely has a good background and sounds very qualified for this position. Now, the Senate confirmed Kavanaugh on October 6th after, you guys know, a very contentious political fight in which Judge Kavanaugh denied allegations of sexual misconduct dating to the 1980s. Now, by replacing Kavanaugh, Rao would not change the ideological balance of the appeals court, which has a majority of Democratic appointed judges. So it looks like she will be just a really good fit for that. And so thank you, British Patriot, for sending me that article. That was super helpful. Really appreciate that. You guys know that the Judge Kavanaugh, now Justice Kavanaugh, story was very near and dear to my heart. I covered the hearings for 10 hours straight one day. I sat in this chair from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So almost 12 hours, just bringing you guys coverage, each speech. Every time it would go back to the Senate Judiciary Committee, whenever anyone would testify, I showed it to you guys and provided you with commentary in between. I would talk for just about 30 minutes about what we saw in the previous hour or so. And so that was really great. It wasn't great. I mean, honestly, it was a contentious hot mess, but it was great in that I enjoyed bringing it to you, and you guys were able to see just a raw, unedited version of the hearings and just what was going on. So thank you very much, British Patriot, for that. Larry Stokes over on YouTube asking about, he says, how do you cancel membership? I think that would be a question for one of the moderators. So if one of our moderators could answer that over on YouTube, I'd really appreciate that. And I'm not live on Twitter right now, but I shared the stream on Twitter. So hopefully you guys were able to catch it that way. And I'm also doing an Instagram live as well right now, kind of a behind the scenes thing at alyssa.ashe if you would like to see that. But I really want to have you guys here on YouTube. However you want to watch is wonderful, but YouTube is a really great way to interact because we have the chat room. And like I said, for some reason tonight, I'm not able to see all of the comments on Facebook, so I have been monitoring all of the comments over on the YouTube chat. We still have about 300 watching on YouTube, so thank you guys so much for joining us. And if you want to support Right Side Broadcasting Network, help us stay on the air, you know how to do that. It's right here in the lower third, rsbnetwork.com/donate. I went through those ways to donate with you guys earlier, and I'll probably do it once or twice more throughout the night. But for now, we are going to talk about what's going on in the news, and you guys have been sending me really great stories, and so thank you so much for that. Going to share another one that I just received from the British Patriot. He's a really great loyal viewer. Thank you, British Patriot. And this is from the Daily Wire, which, as you guys know, is a really wonderful conservative news outlet. And let's see, it's by Hank Berrien. Hank Berrien. That might not be how you pronounce it, but it is from the Daily Wire. And I'm going to pull it up just so that you guys can see this article as we are going through it. So it says, breaking Palm Beach ballot machines break. Supervisor says all early vote tallies need to be rerun. So on Tuesday, news broke in Palm Beach County, one of the two Florida counties that had been recalcitrant in reporting their voting tallies from the November election. Ballot machines broke down. Now, Palm Beach County Election Supervisor Susan Butcher, who played the race card against Florida Governor Rick Scott earlier in the week, saying it is very unfortunate that some of the highest elected officials in our country are trying to disrupt our democracy because they don't like the demographics of our voters. Now, this was said on Thursday that all early vote tallies in her county would have to be rerun, according to Terry Parker of WPBF. And so, yeah, Terry Parker of WPBF tweeted this out. She said, breaking ballot counting machines break down in Palm Beach County. Susan Butcher says they have to rerun all early vote tallies in Senate race that already took them a day and a half to tally. So that is the entire story. Really interesting there. Just really unfortunate how much of voter fraud is really going on right now in different states. We've just seen crazy contentious battles for the Senate and House seats in Florida. in Georgia. It's really honestly ridiculous. For the Republican Party, midterm elections did not have the results that the Republican Party was hoping for. I know many of you are Republicans or, more conservative leaning, and it was very unfortunate that we lost the House, but we were able to keep the Senate. That was very good. But we are going to see so much gridlock over the next 2 years because the House and the Senate, they're not going to agree on anything now. And so it's going to be really contentious, and it's going to be not great at all. I don't know how else to say it. I just hope, and I've seen so much in the news today, I just hope that there can really be bipartisan solutions. When I started working for Right Side Broadcasting Network, I did a Q&A with you guys, and I told you guys a little bit about myself, and I said that I hoped that there could just be more bipartisan solutions, senators and representatives literally reaching across the aisle to work together. And that's what, some different representatives and officials have said that they hope can come out of this, because it is just so needed, and it's so difficult and ridiculous, honestly, because some people are so far left and so far right. And I understand that, believe whatever you want to believe, but at the end of the day, look at the issues and look at America as a whole, and for 1 minute, set aside all of your biases and your hatred toward the other side, and please work together. That would be my message right now to all of the newly elected representatives, to all of the newly elected senators, that you will take a minute and just step out of your biography and your LinkedIn account and your resume and all the things you've done and how great you are, and stop lifting up yourself, and instead, please lift up this country. Please lift up America, and please work together to work out issues that are affecting everyone, that are affecting our day-to-day lives. There are so many that I could name just right now. And I don't know if any representatives are watching this right now, and I don't know if any, senators are watching this right now. Honestly, I doubt it. They're probably watching the mainstream media, or they're not watching anything. They're getting ready for all that is cut out for them. But I just hope and pray that they can work together for the good of the country. And I hope that all of you will encourage them to do that as well. Guys, please get involved. Just because midterms are over does not mean you can't be involved with your local politicians, with your state representatives. Reach out to them, email them, write them a letter, call them until you get an answer. You have to be persistent, because if you don't, and if they don't hear your voice, they're going to do whatever they think is best. And I hope and pray that they can be a great representative of whatever state you're in. But if you're not giving them your opinion, how are they, going to know? And I hope that all of you went out and voted, because I do think that that is just such a wonderful way for you to exercise your freedoms and liberties that you have as an American. If you didn't get out and vote, I'm not going to judge that for you. That is your decision. But by not voting, that is how you allowed your voice to be heard. And it really did affect, the House and the Senate. We saw that. And now we're just going to see so much gridlock and so much contention, unless, like I said, they can literally reach across the aisle and work together. And I really, really hope that that's possible. But we're going to be bringing you guys live events over the next few months. We're going to be bringing you the White House press briefings with Secretary Sarah Sanders. We're going to be bringing you, important meetings and important speeches. And I really hope that just, positivity can come out of this. And I'm looking at your comments right now in the YouTube chat. I'm really thankful for you guys. You guys are really fantastic. And I hope that, I can encourage you. A lot of you reached out to me after midterm elections, and you said, "Oh, Alyssa, what do you think? Are you just devastated? Are you just devastated that we lost the House? What do you think is going to happen?" And that was really hard for me to answer, because honestly, I have no idea. No one knows. Everyone right now that you might also be watching on Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, they're making judgments with all of the information that they know. But the only one that knows who is going to happen is the Lord, and he has already ordained it, and he has already written out the book. And that's what I believe as a Christian. And if you don't, that's okay. You're totally entitled to your beliefs as well. But I don't want you guys to live in this sense of just, fear politics, fear mongering. That's what's been thrown around. I don't want you to live in fear because we lost the House. And if you're a Democrat, I don't want you to live in fear because Republicans have the Senate. Because America is a wonderful country. It is the land of the free and the home of the brave. And at the end of the day, everything is going to work out some way. I mean, I know that there are so many, issues in our country, and that there are so many things that are unresolved right now. And there are bills that have just been sitting and laws that have not been passed. But you know what? It's all going to work out. So I hope that you guys do not give yourselves just a headache and just live in fear and stress out because Republicans lost the House. It is going to be tough. I'm not saying it's not going to be tough at all, but if you guys stand strong and if you let your voice be heard, and if you connect with your local politicians and your state politicians, try to call President Trump if you want. Okay, that's not going to work. I don't know if you guys knew, he did that call the other day where people could dial in. I called, but it was kind of more of a speech thing right before midterms. But all this to say, I just want you guys to know, if you are worried and if you're afraid, just let your voice be heard, do your part, and give the rest to God, and know that he is going to take care of America. He is going to take care of his world, and he is going to let his name be known. So that was a little bit of a segment there. Thanks for all of your comments there. I just get really excited about it because it is so important to me, and I just want you guys to know that everything will work out. I am very much an optimist, and I try to be as positive as possible. I think it's important to be a realist as well, but I would definitely rather be an optimist than a pessimist when we're looking at all of these different really contentious issues. And I'm gonna kind of switch gears a little bit and look at some of the different comments and stories that you guys have sent me. I'm really thankful for them. Also, shout out to Matthew Timonen. Thank you so much for your $4.49 donation. He says, God bless you and Patriot family. Jesus will win. Thank you so much, Matthew. Really, really appreciate that and all of your support there. You guys are really wonderful, and I would not be able to be here without you. I would not be able to bring you this broadcast without your support. So thank you guys so much just for all of your continued support, however you're donating, whether it is on PayPal, whether it is on Patreon, whether it's through a check. Thank you so much. Every couple weeks, I get to spend some time with our CEO, Joe Seals, and go through all the checks that you guys have sent. And it is so wonderful to just go through your letters. These letters mean so much to me, guys. They're so heartfelt, and you just really pour out your heart. And I'm really thankful for that. For everyone that has sent a letter or a donation or even shared it on social media in the last 6 months, in as long as Right Side Broadcasting Network has existed, since 2016. To all of you, I express my deepest gratitude. You all are wonderful patriots, and I'm really thankful that you are spending time with me tonight and choosing to watch Right Side Broadcasting Network instead of the mainstream media. And you know what? Maybe you're watching both. Good. I hope you are. You can have me on your laptop and Fox News or MSNBC or CNN on your TV and compare them. And I would love to know your thoughts. Earlier, as I was preparing for this broadcast, I had, I think, four different channels on. I was watching different local stations, a couple stations back at home in one of the greatest news markets in the country. I was, enjoying those streams. I was also watching one of the streams here based out of Montgomery, Alabama, and then I switched it to Fox News, and I just try to get a taste of everything that's going on, because I want to just have a full view of things, and I hope that you guys do as well. Don't watch one source. Don't only watch Right Side Broadcasting Network. If you do that, that's fine. That's your choice. I'm a little biased in that, of course, I want you to watch my news outlet, our news outlet, Right Side Broadcasting Network. but get a full view. Do the research for yourself and just learn as much as you can. So I'm thankful for each and every one of you guys. You guys are really fantastic, and it's been so fun hanging out with you guys tonight. I'm not going anywhere yet. Let's see. Right now we have going to do a quick social media analysis because I love analytics and public relations. We have 314 watching on YouTube. We have 26 watching on Facebook, and I have 7 watching on the Instagram Live. Hey, Lidsbell, I think it's either Lindsay or Lydia. I hope you are doing well tonight. So, for all of you guys that have just joined, welcome. I don't think anyone's just hopping on, but I don't know, people are hopping on and off all of the time. You know, YouTube's very fast paced and there's so much to watch. And I'm so thankful for all of you and that you've chosen to just spend the night with us. You guys are really wonderful. And so I've been broadcasting now for about an hour and a half, and I'm really thankful for all of the viewers that have been really supportive in sending kind messages, encouragement. You know, I'm just getting back on the air, getting back from the campaign trail, you know, following President Trump around. Basically, every rally he went to, RSBN was there too, bringing you guys the entire rally and the entire speech, and we were really thankful that we were able to do that for you guys. And let's see, I'm going to hop over on Twitter and make sure that I have not missed anything from you guys. Thank you so much, British Patriot, for the stories. KK Spoils. British Patriot is not my dad. He is a British Patriot in England, and he's a great friend and supporter of Right Side Broadcasting Network. And he sends me lots of stories. Many of you do. Let's see. Also, I got one from Rick Bulow, one of our loyal viewers over in Florida. Thank you so much, Rick, for this story. I'm going to pull it up right now and just take a quick glance at it before I share it with everyone. It is by, it looks like, Jamie Dupree. And it is from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Okay, I'm pulling this up right now. Thank you, Rick. All right. So this was written today, so it is current. Thank you, Rick, for that. And like I said, it's from the AJC. Budget deficit starts fast in new fiscal year. So I'm going to go through this with you guys real quick tonight. So the new fiscal year, according to the AJC, got off to a rocky start in October as the Treasury Department reported Tuesday that Uncle Sam ran a budget deficit of $100 billion last month, up to 60% from a year earlier, and the largest deficit in October since 2015. Now, compared to the same month a year ago, spending was up by over $50 billion, while revenues increased by $17 billion, again demonstrating stronger economic growth. But that growth has not brought the federal deficit under control as promised repeatedly by GOP leaders in Congress and the White House. Now, the feds brought in $252.7 billion in revenues compared to a spending level of $353.2 billion in October, giving taxpayers $100.5 billion more in red ink in the very first month of fiscal year 2019. Now, according to the AJC, the budget estimates from the White House already envision a deficit in 2019 which could go over $1 trillion, though the deficit for 2018 settled at less than original estimates, totaling $779 billion. Now, that yearly deficit was the largest since 2012. Now, October revenues are up 7% compared to last year, but over half of that increase is due to tariffs and excise taxes, and this is according to budget expert Tyler Evilsizer, who points out that collections of individual income tax revenue increased less than 1% in October. Now, while Republicans in Congress had routinely pledged to enact a balanced budget, those promises haven't come close to being fulfilled under the Trump administration. Now, looking at some of the White House estimates for the budget deficit in coming years, what they're expecting in 2019, $984 billion. In 2020, $987 billion. In 2021, $916 billion. And in 2022, $852 billion. And in 2023, $774 billion. Now, the 10-year outlook from the White House does not envision a balanced budget, and there are a couple of tweets about this story as well that I want to share with you guys just so you can really get a full picture. I'm going to switch over and show you guys the screen capture right now. So this was by the Wall Street Journal, and it says the Treasury Department said the government ran a $100 billion deficit last month as spending increases outpaced revenue growth. And so you can see a link to another article there just with more information about it if you'd like to check that out. Also, another tweet from Stephen Ratner, and I want to see who he is with. He's a contributing writer to the New York Times, Wall Street Financer, Morning Joe economic analyst. And so he shared a graph here, and he said President Trump kicks off fiscal year 19 with a deficit of $100.5 billion in October, bringing the 12-month tally to $816 billion. Where are we heading? According to the CBO, we should expect the deficit near the $1 trillion mark this year. So this is definitely scary. It's something that you might not see in the mainstream media as much unless you're watching, Fox Business or some of the more, economic savvy channels. But really interesting there. Thank you so much, Rick Bulow from Florida, for sharing that with us. Really, really appreciate that story there. And I'm going to switch over to the other stories that I have prepared for you guys tonight, so don't go anywhere. Also, thank you to everyone who is sending me Twitter messages with links. Really appreciate you guys. And it looks like Manning Luck just joined, a loyal viewer. Hey, Manning, I hope that you are doing well. And I'm going to switch over to some of the other stories. Want to show you guys visuals as I can too. And it looks like right now authorities are actually providing updates on the California Camp Fire. So I am going to see if I can find you guys a feed of that so that you are able to see that press conference that the officials are having now. I did talk about the California wildfires earlier in the night. Extremely heartbreaking, multiple fires. Right now, 42 individuals have lost their lives. 13 individuals were found dead yesterday, and so really heartbreaking situation. And I ask that you will continue to keep California in your thoughts and prayers. I am going to take a second, try to get this press conference up for you guys and see if we have legal access to it. So stay tuned, do not go anywhere. I will be right back on Right Side Broadcasting Network. Hey everyone, welcome back to Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm Alyssa Ashe. Thank you for being patient. I had to get things together to prepare the last 30 minutes of the broadcast for you guys to pull up some video. So I'm going to show you, I wanted to show you some officials right now in California are actually giving a presser about the fires and just the devastation and the destruction that they've seen, but I was not able to obtain a legal feed of that. And so while this is still up, I'm going to show you guys, this is the Woolsey fire. Hopefully I'm saying it right, in Ventura County. And this is from KTLA5 News, I believe, one of the local stations over there. This is their Facebook feed, and so just really devastating. It's an overhead view from their helicopter, Sky 5, and it says Sky 5 is overhead, dramatic flames and large amounts of smoke in the Lake Sherwood area of Ventura County. And I'm going to pull this over real quick. I want to get more information for you guys. But it is definitely heartbreaking. I've been providing you with updates throughout the night. Like I said, this is the Woolsey fire. There are multiple fires going on right now in California. And this is, again, I want to give credit to KTLA 5 News for this stream that I'm showing you guys right now. It's definitely heartbreaking. Please keep everyone affected by the fires in your thoughts and prayers by these devastating wildfires, and all those that lost family members and friends. Please keep them in your prayers. 9,000 firefighters are just fighting these fires right now, and 42 individuals have lost their lives. So definitely a heartbreaking situation. And you can see just how bad it is. This is an overhead view. And again, it is from KTLA 5 News. So if you would like to stay tuned with this entire live stream, they are live streaming right now on Facebook. And so you can head over there. But it is definitely really heartbreaking. I can't even imagine it. I was kind of talking about earlier, many of us on the East Coast in just different areas of America have never had to experience anything like this. And when I say East Coast, I mean at least the states I've lived in: South Carolina, Alabama, Texas, Pennsylvania. It was nothing, we've never had to experience anything like this. And so just a really, really heartbreaking situation. But I just ask that you guys, once again, will keep everyone affected by these terrible, terrible wildfires in your thoughts and prayers. Also, huge thank you to our moderators that have been patient all throughout the night, and members as well. I want to shout out some members that are here with us on the YouTube chat: Jason Thornton, William M, Blonde E, Pamela M. Who else is here? James Wolf, it was great to meet you back in Nashville. I think that was my very first rally with Right Side Broadcasting Network, and so that was a lot of fun. It was a great time. Thank you so much. And again, thank you to all those moderators. Those are those of you that are still hanging out with us, Real Frank in Florida. Also those over on our website too, Common Sense, Reculp, and Gleno. You guys are really great. Thank you so much for all you do for us and for keeping the chat rooms fun and clean and family friendly. Really appreciate that. And I have a couple more stories that I would like to touch on before I wrap this up tonight. This is the first nightly news recap I've done in a while because I have been on the campaign trail covering, many rallies. And so really thankful that I have been able to do that with Right Side Broadcasting Network and our fantastic crew. For those of you that were watching earlier, I showed you on Patreon a picture of some of the crew, and I'm just so thankful for each and every one of them and all the, rally reporters that we have, campaign reporters, just everyone at Right Side Broadcasting Network is very wonderful, and I'm really lucky to work with them. And wow, we just got another donation from Matthew Timonen, $14.99 in Australian dollars. He says, you guys should visit Australia praying for the USA. Thank you so much, Matthew. I would absolutely love to visit Australia one day and hopefully meet you. You've been such a loyal viewer supporter, and I'm so thankful for that. So I'm going to go through a few more stories with you guys, and if you might just, if you're just hopping on just now and you're wondering, why is she talking about donations? Well, Right Side Broadcasting Network is actually donor supported. And so, every dollar that you guys give to us, we're very thankful for. We use it to travel to rallies all around the country. We will be attending some conservative conferences over the next few months and bringing you guys live reports from those. And so we are really excited to do that, and also to put on just live broadcasts like this one. We're really thankful that we're able to do that. So thank you guys for your donations and support. If you're watching on YouTube, of course, you can donate on the super chat button. All you have to do is click that little $ in the box in the bottom left corner, and you can donate there. It'll come up in a bright color with a message, which I will, of course, share with everyone. Or you can donate on our website, and I'm going to give you guys a quick glimpse of that. It is rsbnetwork.com/donate, and you will see the different options there. So I'm going to switch over and show that to you guys real quick. It's very zoomed in right now. Hold on. All right. So our CEO, Joe Seals, just redid this page. So great picture of President Trump. And it says, support Right Side Broadcasting Network. We aren't supported by large donors. We don't have big advertisers. We're being censored by social media. That's true. Without your support, we wouldn't be here. And then the 4 easy ways to donate. You can donate, of course, on PayPal, which is really nice because we get to keep 90% of that instead of the 70% on YouTube. And you can also donate the old-fashioned way, the Tom O'Neill way, by sending in a check to 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344 in Auburn, Alabama, 36830. We're really thankful for each of your donations, and it is really quite an honor that I get to go through those donations a couple times a month with our CEO, Joe Seals, and see all of the wonderful letters you guys have written. We're really thankful for those. And of course, you can donate on Patreon. Patreon is a great way to donate because you get fun things in return. I didn't talk about this earlier and I don't have them with me, but we do have some new RSBN merchandise out, some new tumblers, mugs, and different cool hats. And so really excited to be sharing some of those with you guys. So you should just be able to click the link directly and you will see it. Okay. Sorry, I'm juggling different things right now, per usual. But anyways, here's Patreon. Great way to donate. You can see some great crew pictures up here, and there's different levels. So it's really as little or as much as you would like to donate. Entry level, about $1 a month, all the way up to the all access, where you can donate $500 or more a month. And there are fun things, polls, and exclusive videos and streams, and just different benefits that you will really get to enjoy as a patron. So thank you guys, all who support RSBN. We really, really appreciate you guys. You are really fantastic. We couldn't do it without you, but if you cannot donate, we understand that. Please just share the stream on social media. That would mean the world to me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Periscope, whatever you're using, share it so that your friends and family can see it, so that they can see our mission and just what we're doing as we try the best that we can to bring you guys real news, to bring you raw news, and to bring you what you're really not going to see in the mainstream media. And so we're really, really thankful that we are able to do that. And hey, Brighton Charrier, looks like you just joined us back on YouTube. Really appreciate that. Another loyal viewer. And you guys are just wonderful. I'm so thankful for you and all of your support. Yes, Angela Ray, thank you so much. It was wonderful to meet you. She did give us a donation at the Wisconsin rally. Angela, it was so nice to meet you. We had a great time. Quick story for you guys with one of our great viewers. So Angela Ray, wonderful lady. I wanted to interview her right there, during our live stream at the end of the rally, but the music was blaring. It was so loud, and we have to be careful because, if the music seeps into our microphone, which it always does, we will get a copyright claim from the owner of the song or just a different, random media companies. We deal with a lot of censorship on YouTube, as you guys know. And so I wasn't able to interview Angela right then and there, and we were like typing notes back and forth on my phone because it was so loud. But anyways, that's just a really good memory. And she had a great hat on too, a cheese hat, because we were in Wisconsin, and so that was really funny. Thank you so much, Angela, just for being here tonight. It's so wonderful to see some of you that I've actually met in person, because it makes you, that much more real to me. And of course, you're all real to me, but I love having a face to the name. So also shout out to Candy Smith. I know you were watching earlier. You might not be anymore. I'm not sure, but Candy Smith, you're wonderful. And I got to meet her in Katy, Texas. Also, shout out to Bill Gomez. He just donated $9.99. Thank you so much, Bill, for your continued support. Really, really appreciate that. And going to wrap this up pretty soon here. Going to, share with you guys some final stories. So don't go anywhere. Okay. So I started prepping earlier today. I have a whole list, and some of them we really even didn't have the time to dive into tonight. So we're going to have to talk about them tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. I want to finish up some of the social media stories. That's what I'm going to call them. I'll call them viewer stories that you guys send in to me. I'm really thankful for all your support. Something really unique about this broadcast is how it's actually interactive. I'm talking to you guys the whole time. I am reading, your comments, and I'm answering your questions, and I really love that I'm able to do that. I think it's a really fun thing that, you don't see in the mainstream media, because in the mainstream media, it's very one-sided. Just that, they're talking to you. You might even feel like sometimes the anchors are talking at you. But hold on, I'm trying to find a feed for you guys. Stay tuned, because I want to, of course, bring you live breaking news. So whenever anything happens, I would love to share it with you guys. So right now, I am getting information that Vice President Mike Pence is actually participating in a bilateral meeting with the Vietnamese Prime Minister. And I went through our feeds that we have access to, wanted to bring that to you guys, but doesn't look like that's going to work out tonight. But I can show you just a quick minute of it if you would like, from Fox News's live Facebook feed. So stay tuned. I'm going to pull this up. But, due to copyright issues, I'm not going to show you more than 30 seconds to a minute, most likely. But they are having the bilateral meeting right now. So I'm going to switch over and show this to you guys.
cái lệnh trừng phạt này. Chúng tôi xin rất cảm ơn vì cái cam kết mạnh mẽ đối với một vùng biển Đông tự do và cởi mở. Đó là cái cam kết mạnh mẽ của chúng tôi. Chúng tôi cũng cùng chia sẻ với cái nguyện vọng là vì có một ASEAN mà tuân thủ theo luật lệ và có một khu vực châu Âu tự do và cởi mở ở đây. Và tôi cũng rất trông đợi để mà thực hiện tiến hành cái vụ nói chuyện thêm về vấn đề Bắc Triều Tiên cũng như là về các vấn đề ở Việt Nam, Nam Trung Hoa và Biển Đông Việt Nam.
Beyond regional issues, let me say that the American economy is growing strong. I know our economic relationship is also strong, but I look forward to discussing how we might have a more fair and reciprocal trade arrangement going forward, and on the basis of our mutual commitment to security and prosperity. We look very much forward to marking the 25th anniversary of diplomatic relations in the year 2020, and let me say again what a great honor it is for me to be able to spend this time with you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Ngoài vấn đề khu vực ra thì hiện giờ kinh tế của Hoa Kỳ đang phát triển rất mạnh mẽ và bây giờ quan hệ của Việt Nam với Hoa Kỳ cũng đang phát triển rất mạnh mẽ. Chúng tôi sẽ trông đợi có thêm những cuộc trò chuyện với ngài về vấn đề tự do, về thương mại có đi có lại và công bằng, cũng như là cam kết của chúng ta đối với một khu vực sự phồn thịnh và cởi mở ở đây. Và khi mà
All right, we are going to switch over. I hope you guys enjoyed that short clip. I apologize there was no sound in the beginning, but one thing I really liked was how Vice President Mike Pence said that he hoped for a mutual commitment to security and prosperity. So really glad just that he is, thinking globally. And, of course, President Trump and Republicans have the, America First mentality, which I think is wonderful too, but it's also great to have peace with other countries. And so really great that President Trump, and Vice President Mike Pence are really working with these other countries and just doing the best that they can. And so I am going to finish up pretty soon here. Tie in a couple of the viewer stories that you guys have been so gracious to send me. Thank you so much, British Patriot. Really appreciate you sending in these stories. And looks like Alex Javier, hopefully I'm saying that right, sent some stories in as well. So I'm going to look into those too and maybe save those for later on in the week. But the British Patriot sent a really heartwarming story. Some of you may have already seen. It was published 12 hours ago on Fox News about the American flag that was discovered in the Camp Wildfire ruins in California. So I'm going to show this to you guys. I'm going to kind of go through the information, and I also will be showing you guys a picture. So stay tuned. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Okay, so like I said, this is from Fox News. So amid the raging campfires, red glare, the Star-Spangled Banner yet waved. And this is according to Fox News. Members of a search and rescue team working in wildfire incinerated California neighborhoods found themselves living out the national anthem and discovering our flag was still there, the American symbol, the only thing in the area not singed by the deadly blaze. The Elk Grove Police Department was providing mutual aid in Paradise, which had been leveled after the fire erupted last Thursday when officers Katie Cooley and Julius Lewis noticed a flagpole on Ripley Lane standing tall. And Lewis told Fox and Friends, "It definitely caught my attention. It was pretty amazing to see. The house in the backdrop was completely burnt to the ground, and yet the flag was still there." Now, Lewis said he took a picture of the flag while he was sitting in his vehicle because he just sat there for a while looking at it. Now, the campfire has become the deadliest blaze in state history, with at least 42 people confirmed dead. Coroner search teams, many accompanied by a chaplain, have fanned out across the city of 27,000 to visit dozens of addresses of people reported missing since the fire broke out. Now, Lewis said that being on scene was, of course, a sobering experience. And he said it really is something that pictures and video really can't explain, like being there. It was really eerie, felt like something really, painful and just familiar. Now, the officers documented the address where the flag was discovered and secured it in hopes of returning it to the owners in the future. And Cooley said, "Once the situation stabilizes in Paradise and things calm down for a bit, we'll try to work with the city there and public records, or however we can do that, to try to locate the owners." We documented the address and we'll try to find out who the rightful owner is. And going to show you guys a picture. This is from the Fox News article. The picture courtesy of the Elk Grove Police Department. And you can see the flag standing tall. The American flag was found standing on a pole on Ripley Lane in Paradise, California. So definitely a heartwarming story, although it kind of brings tears to my eyes. Thank you so much, British Patriot, for sharing it with all of us tonight. Really, really appreciate that. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. It has been so wonderful talking to you here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. Once again, thank you for joining me for my nightly news recap. It has been an honor and a pleasure to bring you such a wide variety of news stories. We covered world news, national news, political news, midterms, and of course the wildfires in California, which are still a huge problem. Please keep everyone affected in your thoughts and prayers. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for tuning in, for supporting Right Side Broadcasting Network, and for choosing us as your trusted news network. We appreciate you guys so much, and we're not able to do this without you. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you tomorrow. God bless and good night.